Welcome back to Dunnet Head. It's literally only about an hour since the last video I filmed, which you would have seen in the last video. The last episode was filmed about an hour ago. We've just been sitting here having our tea. The midges have now descended and they're eating me alive. But it's all good because the view is still cracking, the view is still stunning. But I am a bit apprehensive about this evening's sunset shoot. Part of me is very apprehensive, part of me is incredibly excited. I don't know quite how to feel. If you watched the end of my last video, you would have heard me say that fog was descending, or there's been a lot of fog on the horizon around the coast today. And luckily when we arrived here there was no fog, but out at sea the fog has slowly been creeping towards us here at Dunnet Head. So sunset tonight is either going to be a cracking beautiful orange glow because we've got this lovely clear sky with the orange light hitting this cliff and the lighthouse here, or the mist and fog is going to descend on us because we've still got just over an hour until sunset. So this fog is probably going to descend on us, which is either going to obscure my view completely and ruin the sunset shot, or we're going to get epic conditions like I got in Aberdeenshire 2 years ago now, which if you never saw that video you can check it out up here because I was blown away with those conditions. So if I get that again, I'm excited. If it's shrouded in mist and fog and there's just no hope of getting an image, I'll be a bit upset. But either way, let's get set up, let's get cracking, let's get another lighthouse ticked off my bucket list. And a huge thank you, before I progress to do this photography, to everybody who has donated to my lighthouse photography mission, because I wouldn't be here just now if it wasn't for you, and I wouldn't be going over to Orkney tomorrow if it wasn't for your kind donations. Those of you who have donated money, all the money is going towards travel and accommodation expenses for me to go and complete this mission. And I'm saying accommodation expenses, tonight I'm sleeping in my car. I'm barely spending any of that money on accommodation. The majority of it is going towards travel, whether that's petrol or ferry fares, which is obviously what I'm getting tomorrow. Oh my god, the mist is coming in as I'm speaking. Just, I need to shut up. This isn't good. This isn't good. So there I was, too busy speaking to the camera that I missed the mist rolling in. Like I said, tonight's going to be very unpredictable. The mist came in out of nowhere, but as soon as it appeared, it's dispersed again. So I think what we're going to get this evening is a mix of misty clouds coming in, rolling over the landscape, and a mix of sunset lights, which I'm actually super excited about. Tonight's conditions could actually be some of the most incredible conditions I've ever photographed, and I'm trying not to get my hopes up because the chances of that are incredibly low. But because we've got this changing light, this changing mist, we're going to hopefully get clouds coming in. There's some really interesting bands of mist in the sea in front of me just now that keep changing shape every few minutes. I actually think this is going to be really exciting because we've got a good mix of conditions here, and conditions that I have very rarely photographed. Oh, I'm really hoping we get a good image tonight so I makes it into my calendar, which if you don't know what my calendar's all about, I spoke about it in the last lighthouse video I put up. Basically, I'm hoping to make a calendar next year with 12 of my best lighthouse images, and some of the money that goes towards purchasing these calendars I'm hoping will go to some sort of charity. But anyway, let's get on with the photography because the conditions are going to change immensely, I think, in this hour before sunset. I'm super excited for sharing it with you. Bright and an hour before sunset. I'm just taking some handheld shots just now just to get a feel of potential composition opportunities, even though to me there's only really one here. The epic cliff face, the sea, all that kind of stuff. But it's allowing me to kind of shift quickly between portrait and landscape orientation, and especially when the conditions are changing so fast, it's going to allow me to get some quick shots as the fog and mist rolls in and out. But as we get further towards sunset itself and it maybe begins to get a bit darker, or the mist descends and you know, it gets darker, I'll obviously get my tripod out once I've found that composition I'm 100% happy with. Oh, it's getting really chilly now. Oh, this video is probably going to be all over the place, as you can probably tell already. I don't really know what to say. This is very unexpected, and we're changing our plans for this trip by the second because of everything that's going on in the world just now, and also because of the conditions and stuff. This trip and this photo shoot is going to be all over the place, but I hope it's going to be exciting, and you can tell I'm excited because I'm waffling. No planning at all for this. Yeah, and I've got an hour till official sunset, as I've said a million times. So yeah, this is a mixture of a very tired Kim after a 6-hour drive and a very excited Kim that doesn't really know what's going on and is getting really excited for conditions that we may or may not get. Let's get on with the photography. I can already hear the comments. Shut up, stop talking, get on with the photography. So I will. It's been quite some time since I've taken or been on a shoot where I've taken the same shot like loads and loads of times. What I've been doing is I've been taking like landscape orientation shots, portrait orientation shots of exactly the same cliff face. I've only been moving like a few meters between shots for slightly different compositions. I don't really want to go anywhere else because I just think this scene is just epic and the light on the landscape is beautiful. But I've been taking so many images because I've been messing around with the difference of fast shutter speeds as well as slow long exposure shutter speeds, just to see which sort of image I prefer. I've also been watching the waves coming in and shooting the waves at different angles coming into the side as well, just to see which one will give more interest, and also adapting to the fact that the mist keeps rolling in and disappearing again. It's actually not come in as much as I expected. There's some har sort of on the horizon and, you know, coming into the shot, which is making the image a little bit diffused, but I actually thought we were going to end up with a really big cloud of mist and fog coming in to completely shroud the image. I mean, there's still time yet, you can see it in the background behind me, it just keeps sort of coming and going, but because it's not coming as much as I was expecting it to, I'm focusing more on the waves and changing the waves than anything else, because at the end of the day, photographing things that aren't always there is going to get you those unique images. And just now the light's beautiful, there's no clouds to give interest, but you know, every time I guess photographers come here, the waves are going to be different intensities. Tonight's quite a nice subtle calming evening, so I'm trying to showcase that by using long exposures as well as the fast shutter speed and just see which image works best. So I'll show you a couple of them now if I haven't already, and I hope you like this beautiful view. There's absolutely incredible sunset going on behind me right now. I mean, obviously I've come here to photograph the lighthouse, but one thing you always have to be aware of when you're doing landscape photography is always look behind you. No matter how engrossed you're getting in a scene and in the photograph you're taking, take the time to look behind you because you never know what might be happening. And the sunset tonight is beautiful, and what I was hoping was, there's been a lot of fulmars flying around and surfing the cliff tops, and I was hoping to get some of them, you know, silhouetted against the sunset, but it wasn't happening. But totally by fluke, my other half, wherever he's gone, here, just walked out to this edge here I was doing a bit of wildlife watching with his binoculars, and him just standing on this cliff face, if I put this down a bit, standing on that cliff face there with a beautiful sunset behind him, have a nice silhouette, it just worked so well. So I really like that image. It's something a little bit different, something a little bit unexpected, and just the sunset tonight is incredible. And because we've got this beautiful you know, mist and fog on the horizon, the sunset was appearing as this crazy ball of light, like almost like had a halo around it in the images, which you'll see in a minute, which is just fantastic. What an evening. I actually couldn't have asked for better conditions in many ways for this shoot. Absolutely stunning. Well, that's the end of another vlog. I actually have no idea how these images have turned out, because I think these locations are epic. Obviously they're epic, and that's why I want to photograph all these incredible lighthouses. But to get the most like killer shots, the shots that are just phenomenal, often requires you going to really dangerous parts of the cliff that I'm not really willing to do. I don't think it's worth risking your life for a photograph. So tonight I found it quite hard, because there's been a lot of like rocky outcrop bits that's been kind of obscuring this amazing cliff face. But I really hope that one or two of the images I've taken tonight are good. With this being the most northernly point of mainland Britain, it would be an excellent, you know, shot to have in the Lighthouse portfolio, calendar, and whatever's coming in the future. So I really hope one of those images were, you know, I hope they turned out as good as I envisaged that they will have. Yeah, another amazing night, stunning location. I have to admit that this Dunnet Head has actually been better than I expected it to be. I didn't know what to expect, but it's been incredible, and I will definitely be coming back here in the future because it's just breathtaking. And can you imagine being here on a windy winter's day as well? I've got to do that someday. But anyway, that's another lighthouse ticked off my list. Again, thank you to everybody who's donated to help me make this mission come true. As always, I want to say a huge thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all again next time. I potentially may be at another lighthouse. I've not quite decided what we're doing tomorrow morning yet. I hope we're going to be in our lighthouse, but with the fog and all that coming in, it might not happen. But yeah, if not, the next episode will be over in Orkney itself. So I look forward to seeing you all again then. Thank you.